Senate Bill SB 1103. The short title of this bill is Lieutenant Governor Duties Ballot. And it's going to be heard in the Senate Appropriations Committee on the 23rd, which I believe is Tuesday.
Tuesday, I think.
Tuesday, 23rd? Mm-hmm. Okay. It was introduced by Senator MESNARD. Now, the interesting thing about this bill, other than it deals with a subject that some people think is very important, some don't, this bill would have absolutely no effect whatsoever unless another measure is approved. What's happening is that there's another bill. Actually, there's a House and a Senate version of this bill. The House version has been advancing, and it is HCR 2020. Now, an HCR bill, as you guys know, is a bill that would go to the voters for approval, because in order to have the lieutenant governor, it would have to have the approval of the people. It would be, I believe, it's a constitutional amendment to the Arizona Constitution. Definitely a statute, if not a constitutional amendment. So, this bill talks about, or has those things as to what the lieutenant governor would do and what has to be done, etc. But it's totally irrelevant unless we do have a lieutenant governor, okay? And we don't have one. So if next month this bill clears both the House and the Senate, and it's signed by the governor, still, what do we do? Because we still don't have a lieutenant governor, and if the lieutenant governor is, if we do change the Constitution to have a lieutenant governor, then it might be effective. But anyway, and in case you guys don't know, it is, and this is not the first time that we see this. It seems like almost every year somebody introduces a resolution or something about establishing the office of lieutenant governor. And actually, in my humble opinion, I think that's a good thing, because establishing the governor, the lieutenant governor, what it means is that you would have the governor and the lieutenant governor running the same ticket and be of the same party. That way, if something happens so that the governor is no longer governor, then you have a continuity of whatever. Right now, it is quite possible to have a situation where the governor and not the lieutenant, the Secretary of State, who is the next in line now, will be of a different party and have totally different opinions and so on. So I think it's a good idea to have, just like we have a president and vice president running under the same ticket, it would be a good idea to have the governor and the lieutenant governor run under the same ticket. The question then becomes, what does the lieutenant governor do in the meantime? Okay, if he's not being a governor as a result of the governor going away or whatever. So there is something called the Department of Administration. And apparently that Department of Administration is existing today. We have a Department of Administration.
You do?
What the Department of Administration does is not clear to me. But anyway.
I don't think it's clear to them either.
But that didn't keep him from writing the bill.
No, I know.
So
anyway, I don't think it's clear to the Department of Administration what they do.
It's kind of funny, guys. Well, anyway, it does determine that if we did have a lieutenant governor, that he would be the head of the Department of Administration, and that's where he would sit until he gets called upon to be governor, and everybody will be happily ever after. But anyway, don't have to worry too much about it. And as I said, I do like the idea of having both the governor and the next in line to be elected together. That way we have a continuity. We've had many times here where the governor did not finish his term, and we had the Secretary of State take over. And as I recall, I think it had both ways, where they were the same party and also the different party. So, and that's not good. It's not good if you elect somebody and then you have a total change in policy. It's not a good idea. But again, I think it's a little premature because we don't have the votes. We haven't done yet the HCR 2020 to determine that we do have the office of Lieutenant Governor. And I don't know if Archie has anything to add to that, but he always does so.
Actually, the provision in here is that this will not be effective until 2027. And then the other provision is basically that there is going to be a resolution that is, and this says, as I recall, it's going to be a resolution from the Senate that is going to be submitted to create the office of Lieutenant Governor. Currently, if you look at the Arizona Constitution, Article 5, Sections 1 and 6, it sets forth what the hierarchy is, and it goes directly from the government to the Secretary of State. And in that instance, if something happened to Governor Ducey, then we would have Katie Hobbs, who is a Democrat then, that would run the state, and under the provisions of this code, Katie Hobbs would be the governor until such time as a special election is held by the population to elect a new governor, all right? Now, understand, under that wording, then it would be open to both the Democrats and the Republicans. There's no provision that the election for a successor governor has to be a Republican. It could be a Democrat. So under this circumstance, it would appear to me that this says that if you submit your name to be in the election to be elected as governor, then at that time you have to submit a name to be on the ticket as lieutenant governor. So presumably you're going to select somebody from your own political party, but until such time as the Constitution, Article 5, Sections 1 and 6 are amended, then you don't have an office of the lieutenant governor. And then getting back to the administrative office, that's a very important office. It handles a lot of stuff. It's a very important office.
Well, okay, but I don't know who heads it now. But regardless, I want to pick up on something you said, because it said there that the Senate would have a resolution to create the office of the lieutenant governor. Correct?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Passage of Senate concurrent resolution blank.
Okay. Well, that's because they didn't have a number.
Right. Yeah.
But that's not totally accurate. I mean, it may be accurate, but it's incomplete, because we do have a Senate concurrent resolution going on, but it's not advancing very well.
Senate or the House?
Wait a second. We also have the exact same resolution going on in the House, HCR 2020, and that one is apparently advancing. So. So what happens when you have both the House and a Senate bill? The one that's advancing is the one that they abandon the other one and go with the one that's advancing. So even though it says there that there's a Senate resolution, it can be either Senate or House.
Oh, of course.
In the end, both chambers would have to approve it anyway.
Right.
So
yeah,
it doesn't much matter whether it's initiated in the House or the Senate, but that is the one that they're working on, is HCR 2020. And the one thing that when I made my point about we don't have a lieutenant governor, I did not see, when I read this bill, I missed that it doesn't go into effect until, what year did you say?
2027.
2027, because that would be the year then that the lieutenant governor would be in effect if the voters, well, first of all, if it passes both House and Senate, the bill, and secondly, if the voters do approve it.
Right.
So I guess it's okay to establish this bill because it wouldn't go into effect until then. It's still a little premature, though.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, I think it's a good idea, as long as we get the Constitution amended. And understand, if you've listened to me at all, you know that I say don't amend your Constitution. Too hard to change.